So in the last video we talked about two kinds of limits, right? The first kind is the easy kind of limit, where you just plug the number in, right? And the second kind of limit we talked about was the form 0 over 0. So let's practice a little bit. Let's say I give you some questions here and we just try to see how they go. So what's the limit as x goes to minus 3 of, say, x squared plus 7 over 2x minus 5, okay? What we should do here is always put the number inside of the function to see what kind of result you get. When I put minus 3 in there, I get 9 plus 7, 16. And on the bottom, I get minus 6 minus 5, which is minus 11. And that's, I don't have 0 in the bottom, do I? So this is an easy kind. I can just put this right in. Notice, so I just put that in, I get this. You can do this step in your head if you want. 9 plus 7, 16. And negative 6 minus 5 is negative 11. That fraction you can't simplify. And let's just put the negative up top to make it look nicer. I hope you guys know this little fact, that you know with a negative sign, you can put the negative sign on the top of a fraction. You can put the negative sign on the bottom of the fraction. Or you can center the negative sign in front of the fraction. All of those mean the same thing, okay? But don't put it on top and bottom, because then they just cancel out and you're left with a positive fraction. Good. What about something like this one? Limit as x goes to 5, that's a 5 supposedly, of x minus 5 over, say, x squared. What do you think about that one? Well, let's put the number 5 in. We get 5 minus 5 on top, so it's 0 on the top, and 5 squared, 25 on the bottom. So we have 0 over 25. Is that okay? Well, sure it is, because 0 on the top is okay. 0 on the bottom is where we have to think about stuff differently. So this is still an easy kind, okay? It's okay to have 0 on the top as long as you have a non-zero number on the bottom, okay? So the answer there is 0. Let me throw another one at you. The limit as x goes to, say, 3 of x squared minus x, no, let's say minus 3. The limit as x goes to minus 3 of x squared minus x plus 12 all over x plus 3. What do you think about that one? Well, let's decide what kind it is. Is it easy, the easy kind, or is it the form 0 over 0? When I put minus 3 in here, I get 9 minus minus 3, so that's really 9 plus 3. 9 plus 3 is 12. Sorry, I made a mistake here. I want to write minus 12 here. 1 second, sorry about that. So again, let's start again. Put in minus 3 here. I get 9 minus minus 3 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. So the top is 0, and the bottom is negative 3 plus 3 is 0 as well. So this is the form 0 over 0, okay? So don't ever do something like this, 0 over 0, and think that's your answer, okay? That doesn't make any sense at all. The 0 over 0 does tell you something, though. It tells you, like we talked about, we should probably try to use algebra to factor this and maybe do some canceling. And then after we do the canceling, things should be better then. Then hopefully after we do the canceling, the limit will be an easy kind again, okay? How do we factor that? Well, you have to know how to do that. You kind of want to think of two numbers that multiply to negative 12 and add up to negative 1. So you want a product of negative 12 and a sum of negative 1. What two numbers will do that for you? How about negative 4 and positive 3? So that means the factors are going to be x minus 4, x plus 3. Okay? Now, x plus 3's here is cancel, and we're left with the limit as x goes to minus 3 of x minus 4. And now we're happy because this is now the easy kind, type 1. Just put in the minus 3 in there. And we get minus 7. And that's our answer for that guy. All right, let's do some more. So you know these easy kind, they're not going to be asked too much, okay? Maybe you'll see 1 or 2 questions on your test or assignment on those kind, but most of the time you're going to have to do some work to get your answer on the limits. So you're going to have to probably factor or maybe rationalize or something. We're going to be talking about other kinds of limits as well later on, but right now we're just practicing the first 2 that I introduced there. How about this one? We can't always use x, okay? We have to use other letters as well sometimes. How about the limit as t goes to 1 of t cubed minus t over t squared minus 1. All right, well, let's decide, is this an easy kind of limit or is it 0 over 0 kind? Well, when I put 1 in here, I get 1 cubed minus 1, which is 0, and put 1 on the bottom, I get 1 squared minus 1, which is 0 as well. So this is 0 over 0. Now, so we probably want to factor this guy. And another thing I see students do sometimes, that they start working on this like this maybe. You know, they start doing some factoring here or something, and they forgot to write the limit sign in there. Okay, you have to write the limit sign in there to proceed. Only at the very end, when you stick the number in, only then can you drop the limit sign. Okay, so I'm just going to recopy the limit sign, and what I did there is I noticed that on the top, the numerator, there's a common factor of t, right? So let's pull that t out front. And we get t squared minus 1 then, right? And t squared minus 1 on the bottom too. Now t squared minus 1, you could actually factor that more, but there's no real need to, because these guys, they cancel out. So we're left with the limit as t goes to 1 of t. And now that's an easy kind, right? We're just going to put the number 1 right in there. When I put 1 in there, I get 1. And notice now I drop the limit sign, okay? So there's my final answer on that one. How about something like this? Maybe limit as h goes to 0 of h minus 5 squared minus 25 all over h. Let's see what's going on here. So if I put 0 into the top and bottom, let's see what I get. For sure on the bottom I get 0 when I put in 0. What about the top? I get 0 minus 5, which is minus 5. Minus 5 in brackets squared is positive 25. And 25 minus 25 is 0. So this is of type 0 over 0, or type 2, whatever you want to call it. Now here, well, if you're sharp, you'll notice this is a difference of squares, but let's just multiply out the brackets, okay? Let's simplify everything the best we can. So this is going to be, now here's a real common mistake. Okay, well we don't have much time here. We've got to get another 10 minutes. So it's minus 10t plus 25 minus 25 all over h. And I just FOILed that out. Now notice those 25s cancel, huh? So we can just get rid of those guys, and we're left with h squared minus 10t all over h. And now, oops, that's a silly mistake there. I wrote a t, but we're dealing with h. Sorry about that. I guess I'm thinking the last question there. Same thing here. So I have h squared minus 10h over h. Since there's an h everywhere there, I can cancel off an h. So I get h minus 10. And now I'm happy because now it's an easy kind. I can just put h equals 0 in there. I get 0 minus 10, which is negative 10. And that's my answer for that one. Quickly, I'll just mention here, h minus 5 squared. I hope you don't think that that's like h squared minus 25 or something like that, okay? This is definitely not equal to that. H minus 5 squared is this quantity that I wrote right here. So don't get caught on that. A lot of students think that, but it's not true.